The fulfillment of gaining meaningful employment and earning a paycheck empowers our members with intellectual and developmental disabilities to be louder, stronger, and have more confidence when it comes to self-advocacy. Let me just close that window right there. Now I can see. I'm Melissa Galbraith, and I'm excited to be bringing you empowering self-advocacy through employment. My experience comes from working at Civitan Foundation, and we love to empower our members to live the best life. We're located in the Phoenix area and Williams, Arizona. A little bit more about me and Civitan later. Our focus today will be our members and their journey to self-advocacy, with advice in their own words, employment playing a major role. The question I think we all ask ourselves is, what can we do as family members, friends, and providers to empower individuals with disabilities to have the best life by expressing their wants and needs to achieve their personal and career goals? Let's have a casual but constructive conversation, and maybe we'll all take something away from it that we might not have thought of or may have forgotten along our journey. You will see the use of butterflies throughout my presentation as a symbol of our members' beauty, resilience, and ability to fly through challenges. You'll see me transition between two views of this slideshow during my videos, so you get the best quality video experience. So let's get started. Meet Susie. Bright and cheery, brings sunshine to every day, twirls around Civitan Village like a prima ballerina. Her story is very special to me. I look at things differently because Miss Susie provided me with a light bulb moment that I will always remember. I was walking down the hallway at the village by art class. I casually asked her, "Susie, would you like to work?" Masked face, she looked at me with the biggest eyes and shook her head in a yes motion. So we went to my office to talk more. I asked Susie if she would like to interview at Flourish Thrift and Gift Store. I thought she would excel as a retail associate for so many reasons. Susie had a different opinion though. She said, "I can't." What I said, "Because of my speech," Susie replied. I told Susie that's not going to stop you. The next day, Susie stood in my doorway, put her hands out in a dance-like motion and said, "Welcome to Flourish."
Welcome to Flourish. Welcome to Flourish.
The practice, the determination, the bravery it took for her to do that was inspiring and still gives me the chills when I talk about it. It is my most favorite story. Susie had been powered by the fact that she'd been seen as a capable person who had the option of employment. And she didn't have to let her challenges get in the way. I saw it in her eyes. Look at that smile. Her saying, "Welcome to Flourish," was self-advocating and telling me, I just want to interview for the position. And yes, I can do it. So I guess with both of us, we had light bulb moments. Well, of course, she aced that interview, and now she works at Flourish 2 shifts a week. We are so proud of Miss Susie. Our members provide us with lessons every day, and we're better for it. I kept hearing one of our newer members saying, "Me, me, me," in a loud voice. At first, I didn't realize she was directing the words at, well, me. Kristen was self-advocating in a very different way than Susie. She knew I was the lady who helped with employment, so she wanted to catch my attention. She did. We would talk in the hallways when she was in between classes, and as she was still getting acclimated to day program, we didn't have to rush employment. I learned by watching her in program that she has a sincere want to help others, whether it be from paid work or volunteering. The me turned into meeting. So we set up a meeting, and I was honest with Kristen. I told her there were some steps she needed to take before entering the workforce. In the meantime, she had volunteering opportunities throughout DTA. Her self-advocating for employment and her other needs could be abrasive, and she would interrupt people in conversation several times a day. She needed to work on her soft skills. I validated that I saw her and knew she wanted a pathway to employment and that she had the supports to get there, including pre-employment classes. I talked to Kristen's mom, and she told me how Kristen had a bad experience in another employment program. I now understood that Kristen was just fighting for herself, fighting for the opportunity to work. Shortly after our meeting, I saw a change in Kristen. Her tone was lower and less aggressive because she realized she didn't have to fight for her opportunity anymore. She just had to prepare for her opportunity. It was really great to see. Sending our members through a true hiring process is essential for success, especially in making progressive moves towards gaining competitive community integrated employment. Susie and Kristen showed us how the thought of employment empowered them to be a self-advocate. Now Trey shows us the importance of expressing yourself in the interview setting. Doesn't Trey look dapper in his suit and tie? Dressed for success. He recently interviewed for a business position as a retail associate at Flourish Thrift and Gift. The store manager, Lonnie, had prepared a list of questions to best support Trey in this process, and her calm demeanor made him feel at ease. First exploring what work area he wanted to pursue, Trey was encouraged to express himself, his likes and his dislikes. He wanted to work in a setting where he could use his friendly disposition. Trey beamed sunshine and rainbows and natural customer service. He also wanted a location quieter than the village and with fewer people, because that made him feel more comfortable. By interviewing for the position at Flourish, Trey needed to be able to talk about himself and answer questions. Not easy for everyone, but he has a gift for gab, and his charm earned him the position. A side note on Trey, which I think is really important. Early on in his new position, Trey was asked to help clean the bathroom. This is a task all job coaches and member staff take turns completing at the store. He said, "My mom, she won't let me do this task." Of course, I called his family to ask if this was true. Dad said, no, he can take his turn cleaning the bathroom. What I learned from Dad this came from a conversation with Trey and his parents when he was in high school. Trey's perception was that only job duties for the teens with special needs, they were only assigned janitorial type tasks. This was wrong in his and his parents' eyes because, of course, members deserve fulfilling and meaningful tasks. Dad thought Trey self-advocating was wonderful, and of course I agreed. Trey's parents had a conversation with him that night and explained the difference, that this was just him taking a turn at a regular task in the store versus only being assigned bathroom duties. So it was okay. So what if a member isn't a natural self-advocate like Trey? It is important for our members to have a chance to practice expressing themselves in a group setting so they can be as empowered as individuals. Miss Connie's Speech Day Monday in Day program has proved to be an effective tool in this effort. This is Debbie. Debbie's so great. Talking about the holidays. Members come up with a topic and 3 points. Miss Connie is a trained Toastmaster. Some members speak in their own voices from the start, but others may come as a character because they are not comfortable speaking in front of a class as themselves yet, but then they progress to speaking as themselves because they become more comfortable. This exercise gives our guys the confidence to self-advocate in team up. Just the ability to not be judged makes a huge difference. It is especially significant for preparing for a job interview. Other types of pre-employment preparation are also essential in empowering our members to work and self-advocate, like pre-EDS and TTE, which is transition to employment. I am lucky to work for an organization where people are provided a wide range of services so that we can follow them through the journey and support them through that journey. So we've prepared, we've interviewed, and now we're ready to work. Starting slow, seems to be the best practice. Then adding shifts as members are more comfortable. Some move faster than others. Some might start with one shift and then build another shift, and then that's just where they're happy. Others will make it up to 40 hours and then progress to community integrated employment, like Ruth and Blake and Chris and Allison and Molly. They're all out in the community with competitive jobs. The work we do through them or with them empowers them to feel comfortable doing that. Work can take many shapes. The key is putting in the supports to help our members make progressive steps towards their person-centered employment goals. That's really important, person-centered. As we all know, everyone has a different career path. It might be a volunteering path, but it's what they want for their lives. And the importance of knowing that there are options is so key. My experience is mostly in group-supported employment, where our job coaches teach hard and soft skills through paid employment. The soft skills can sometimes be the biggest barriers to community employment than the hard. I may be able to perform all the duties of a retail associate or a culinary assistant or a janitorial worker, and I'm great at my time studies, but I don't know how to self-advocate in a setting where I don't have those supports. I need the help with problem solving, conflict resolutions, all those important things that you need if you're out, all the way out in the community. Communication and self-advocating is something we work on every day, multiple times a day. I can't say enough about our job coaches, and I know this is across agencies. Wow, the dedication, the patience, the compassion, we all want our members to succeed and be integrated into the community. So this is Andrew. Everyone should do a happy dance when they get their first paycheck. Andrew definitely did. Earning a paycheck has given our members gained confidence and the desire to want more for themselves. We celebrate our members for their patience, perseverance, and hard work. Like Susie's story, Andrew getting his first paycheck is a memory that I will have in my head forever. Wouldn't have missed it for anything. And P.S., Andrew's joy came from just working 4 hours a month, not week, a month. See what work can do for our guys. It's so important. We talked earlier about the practice put in during theater class to become a self-advocate, but it is also essential for our members to keep a work-life balance once they start earning a paycheck, not just in preparation. And we could all learn from that concept, right? Too much work can lead to stress, and too little work can lead to boredom once an individual gets that work bug. I see members be more successful with a mix of day program and work. Even if an individual is working in the community and just comes 1 day a week to day program, it allows them to maintain the life skills training they have gained and to just have some plain fun. Try working at Civitan Village on karaoke Fridays. We might beat the decibel level of a football stadium full of people singing tequila, tequila, fun all around. A little bit about Chris before I roll the next video featuring members from our Flourish Thrift and Gift store. That's him, the kindest man. Chris never said much to me. Then one day he showed up in the doorway of my office. We are now fast friends. As you may have gathered by now, I get a lot of visitors in my office. "Oh, this is where you are," Chris said, and turned around and left. This made me smile, but I didn't think much of it. He started coming a couple of times a day and would sit in a chair in my office and talk for a minute, then go back to class or say something like, "Just so you know, I'll be in music class." One day he was having a hard day because his roommate was in the hospital. So to keep his mind off of it, he decided to read me a story from a fairy tale book, a form of self-advocating. He needed space, he needed time and a little bit of quiet, so he came to my office. I and my coworker who have an office next to me really got into the story. I took the opportunity on one of his daily visits to say, "Hey, Chris, do you want to work?" Without hesitation, he said, "Yep," and went back to class. Only a 3-second conversation, but what an impact. Was that the reason he had been coming to my office? Because again, I'm the lady that helps members get jobs. Maybe so. Was he self-advocating? Either way, he went through the interview process and now works 2 shifts a week at Flourish. His parents are so proud of him, and most importantly, Chris is proud of himself. Here's Chris and some of his coworkers in a short video about self-advocacy and work from their perspectives. I'm going to switch out of my full screen and go into my other screen so you have better quality video. Let me know if you have any problems, okay?
I'm a self-advocate.
Teach us how to learn how run store and respect to people by on my communication device.
Then we'll move you over to this gray. And then this one's like a light brown.
Raise my hand or say, can you help me please?
Always ask questions if you need help. Stressed, confused, upset, because they wouldn't know what's bothering you unless you tell them.
And confident, and you can do it.
I'm a self-advocate.
Let me switch back to my other screen. So proud of our members. They did such a great job. So what did we learn from them? I'll start. I learned that some of our members might not seem like they have a lot to say, especially when a video camera is put in their face. But when giving someone, the patience and listening to them in the way that they need to feel comfortable, they really have a lot to say. How about you guys? Does anyone want to share? What did you learn or see in the video for our guys at Flourish? You can use chat, you can unmute, whatever works for you. And if no one has any comments, I will just move on for sure. Okay. Our members are on different timelines to self-advocacy and employment. It is our job to open our eyes wider and listen more carefully. As Chris taught me, self-advocacy comes in different shapes and forms. This is Matt in the photo. He is great at self-advocating about employment and career exploration. Way to go, Matt, for sure. Our next video features 3 of our more experienced member staff. Tarek, who works in janitorial, Santiago is a dedicated village cafe assistant, and Jessica is a culinary assistant in our commercial kitchen, The Cookery. I can't say how proud I am of them for working with me on this video. They want to help others with intellectual and developmental disabilities to be successful in self-advocacy and employment. This is their way of giving back. The video starts with a song written and performed by Civitan's Mind Son Music Lab, comprised of members in our day program, which includes some of our member staff. The words are so appropriate. Please enjoy. And again, I'm going to flip to my other screen so you can see this with the best video quality. Here you go.
You didn't think I could do all that they could do, but I proved I'm wrong, that I can be strong, that I can run, and I could be where I belong.
I'm a self-advocate. I was working on my anger issues as a person. I used to punch things. I used to throw tantrums around. I used to follow my girlfriend around. But I talked to myself. I told myself to not do that anymore. She would help me get out of that mood by telling me it's gonna be okay. Just focus on work and not other people and what they say. That I proved to myself that I should not give up and to keep going no matter what happens. I would say stay focused on your work and don't let other people distract you, to stand up, to not keep your feelings inside. It feels nice. I'm very proud of myself. I've been working very hard.
Glad you asked. Look at my good-looking face, good-looking face. We, with people with disabilities, are allowed to speak for ourselves. Even though we have to use a device to do it, even though it may take us a while, but we can do it. If you have a disability, so what? Everybody was born with something. Nobody's perfect. The confidence that I have is that I enjoy doing my job. I love it. But you need to be able to speak up for yourself. If you have a problem speaking, then write it down. But that's the way you start. You need to advocate for yourself because nobody's gonna do it for you in the end. You're the one.
Use your voice. Let it be heard from the mountaintops. I never always used to be this way. I used to be a mouse. Oh yeah. My judge coaches can't seem to shut me up long enough because I love to talk. Love joy has come from working in the kitchen because it gave me a sense of purpose. And the knowledge I gained, I like to share with other people so they too will know the joy of the kitchen. My job coaches are here to teach you your job skills. You need to know outside Civitan. Like Arms and Shield, and she helped me through most of my problems, and I can't say enough praise of her. She helped me so much. The longer you know the kitchen or anywhere you work, you become more comfortable in your surroundings, and you gain confidence. No matter what it is or who you have a problem with, never be afraid to tell your job coaches or what's bothering you, because if you don't tell anybody what's going on, how can anybody help you? If you're having problems at home and you don't feel safe, there are people here at Civitan that could help you and figure a way to help you out. When I work in a kitchen, there's never a dull moment. I absolutely love the people I'm around, my job coaches and my coworkers. There's not a day does not go by that I don't love coming to work. I'm a self-advocate.
Didn't think I could do. I just think it's you. But
I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Our members worked very hard on it. Let me switch back. What did we learn from the experience? I know I learned how much our members want to give back. Tarek, Santiago, and Jessica are so good at expressing their feelings, and it's been a journey for them. They've showed me, I already knew it, but they've showed me how more clearly what leaders they are for their peers and for their job coaches. Not everyone at first may have known the term self-advocacy, but in their heart, they knew what that meant. And they knew that they had the right to express their feelings, tell us where they want to work, what their likes and dislikes are. They deserve the opportunity that they want for themselves. Again, whether it be paid work or volunteering or a hobby, anything that they want, they should be able to achieve. And that's why we all do this for sure. Would anyone like to share? I know we were quiet before, but would anyone like to talk about anything they saw in the video or learned from the video? I see some familiar names attending. Thank you for coming, like Brenda. Hi, Brenda.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Wonderful presentation, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
I don't remember the lady's name, the member's name, when she says we have a voice and let's shout from the rooftop. Or
yes, Jessica.
Jessica, that was really good. And I like it that she's not afraid to use it.
For sure, right? And she teaches other members. I just loved in the video how she was sitting there washing dishes, talking to Allison, just speaking from her heart. No one asked her to say those things. It was really great.
It was.
Oh, thank you, Brenda. So good to talk with you.
Thank you, Melissa.
For sure. And so, I mean, this quote, happiness is when what you think, what you say, and what you do are in harmony. That's a good lesson for all of us, but especially for our members. We want that for them for sure. A little bit more about me and Civitan. I started as a coach, then was promoted to different positions in the company where I learned so much. I can't believe it's almost been 6 years. I can say hands down, employment services has been my most fulfilling area of work. I have the privilege of helping adults with intellectual and developmental disabilities find their own fulfilling and meaningful work opportunities. Nothing beats it. Even on the hard days, I know this is where I belong. The whole team takes pride in providing services from camp to in-home, to day program, to employment, of course. And there's just so much more. And I really don't say this to plug Civitan. I say this just to show that it's so important for us to be well-rounded for our guys, to be able to help them, when they're younger. It might be through team program, and it might be through volunteering. It might just be through camp, being around other members and staff. And then the journey in employment might start by some pre-employment programs. Like I mentioned before, pre-ETS and TTE, where I'm really starting by learning those soft skills. Then I move to group supported employment, where I have my job coach and my team, and it's not a huge group of people. It's just enough supports to help me learn the hard skills as well. And then I can do my more career exploration through the different work areas. And then, I'm in the community within GSC, but I'm also in the community when I'm ready with my own job coach for ISE. And then all those great VR services. And then, like some of the names I mentioned before, like Ruth and Blake and Chris and Allison and Molly, they're all out there doing it, with the support of their new companies like Fry's or Five Below. But they're doing it on their own with the supports from us. So like, Civitan Village is called Civitan Village, but it really takes a village. And that's all of us, for sure. I would like to open up, chat again and to anyone that hasn't spoken yet, so we can talk. If you have any questions about employment, any comments, things I could learn from to help our guys better self-advocate. I would love to hear from your own journeys. If you are someone with disabilities who is conquering that work world or needs some supports. Would anyone like to share or just talk for an open conversation? Isaac was so good at talking before.
I have a question.
Yes.
How do you work with a person who may be afraid of employment, may not be sure that they want to do it?
I work with a lot of members that are in fact, the idea of employment is scary, especially the idea of community employment. You know, we're in our safe zone, right? We're in our bubble. We're comfortable. We have our staff that supports us, our job coaches that work with us. And so, you know, when it comes to someone who hasn't worked before, it's a slow process. So we just make sure, first of all, it's known that it's an option. That's the most important. You have the option to work if you want. Every work area might not be right for the same person, right? But we slowly just start mentioning it. That's why, you know, with Susie, I, broached the idea. And she was like, okay, yeah, her eyes big meant, wow, you think I can work? That was what she needed. With Chris, he just needed to be recognized. And then, I had someone just the other day who I think it might have been 6 months already, where I gave her the application and the supports to start, filling out that paperwork that it takes for HR to start working. And then I would help her through the process. She wanted to do that paperwork herself. And so on Friday, I'm walking into the middle room and she says, just a second, I have something for you. And it was the paperwork. It was all crumpled up in her purse, but it was the paperwork. And she was advocating for herself and saying, I'm ready now. She wasn't ready before, but she's ready now. So now I can take her through the process of, first we talk about work areas and where she might want to interview. Then we do the prep for the interview so we're comfortable. Then I take her to the work area and we interview with that manager. And then hopefully she gets the job she wants. And then we start with that supports in that paid job setting. So it's a different process for everyone. It's our job as staff and in the supports to know our guys enough to know how to approach employment, know when they're ready, but also to not just think they're not ready, to ask the question. I asked that question a lot. Are you ready to work? I asked it many times last week with the two of our members. I just, casually in the conversation, you ready for the discussion? And they're not ready yet. But they will be. We did have a lot of members that what we call took COVID break, right? Where we all had that COVID break. Even though we stayed open, a lot of our members chose for safety to be at home. And so everyone's slowly coming back. And a lot of our guys that worked already, had a year plus that they weren't working. So I wasn't going to just rush them back into work because they needed to reacclimate to that group setting. And so, I would start the conversation. Okay, why don't you get reacclimated and then let's talk. And some guys, the first time I approached them, they would be like, yeah, let's talk about it. Others were like, I'm not ready. And then they would come to me. So as long as we know, and our guys know that, we're available to talk to them about what they want. They have a safe space, a space where they're not going to be judged and that they can talk about employment or even volunteering when they're ready. Such a great question. Thank you for asking. Anyone else?
Yes, me. I have a question. My name is Tara Colbert. I work as an employment specialist for competitive employment. So your presentation was quite refreshing. It's actually good to know that there's other types of employment specialists out there and employment services, because I primarily work with the adult SMI population. For your population that's Civitan services, what is your primary demographic?
We are, adults with developmental and intellectual disabilities that have, DDD services. Okay. And so we have a wide range. We have those young guys who are 24 and younger who had to go through VR first to see, get their 511 letter to qualify to work group supported employment. And then we have, I would say range up to, Chris is 49 now. And so a few members that might be a little older than him. So we have a wide range of members and a demo. And what I think is great about that is we all learn from each other, and, we're not just all the same. And so that really helps us prepare for the community, because then we'll be ready to face all different personalities for sure. What a great question.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you for what you do. It's so great. Anyone else?
I believe you have a comment.
Ooh, let me look in the chat. How exciting. Okay, so Claire, is it okay if I read your comment? I know everyone can see it. So I've taken multiple work skills classes and have some internships here and there, but I worry my disability will be a barrier in the competitive work world. Do you have anything to speak to that? So I first think it's like really honest that you spoke up and said you have a barrier, but sometimes that barrier might seem bigger to you, like Susie, like she said, I can't do customer service because I have a speech problem. And so she thought she couldn't do customer service. And, I said, that's not going to stop you, Miss Susie. You're going to do the best. And she's the best now. So I think addressing the barrier you think you have, talking it openly with people you trust, and finding the solutions. Because, we can make anything happen if we set our minds to it. So I wouldn't ever let anything stop you. Thank you so much, Claire. Anyone else? Oh, Katie Y, right on. I love that. She sure does love her job, for sure. Krista, thank you for that. Would anyone else like to share or has comments or teach me something today? For sure. Oh, great, Krista. I'll wait for your call for sure. And anyone, always at the end, I'll have my contact information. Please, if you have any ideas or comments later on that come up or questions, you can always contact me for sure. I have saved a video for last, so let me go to that for sure. Okay, I'm going to flip to that second screen again so you don't have choppy bad video. So give me 1 second, okay? And here we go. A few parting words from Addie, Tracy, and Katie. I wanted to make sure everyone that participated in the video got to be in the video, and everyone did a great job and took it so seriously. But here's a few funny things.
Really hard work.
I love it.
I like take a breaks. You know work, you know earn it. But you can work, you earn it.
I just love our members. Going to work every day is so fulfilling. Like I said earlier, even on the hard days. I've enjoyed our time together. I know we have some time, so if anyone wants just to open up and talk, that's great. I'm going to stay here until I think it's 11:35. Just to make sure no one has questions or pops in and all. But I do thank you all for being here and picking my breakout session. I just felt it was a big honor to be able to present and have you guys actually pick my breakout room. That was really good too. I didn't know if I'd have anyone in it for sure. But please, yeah, if you have anything to talk about, I'm going to just leave this ending screen on and see if anyone wants to talk about anything for sure. And thank you, George, too.
Absolutely. If you don't mind, could you put your contact information in the chat room? I think somebody's requesting your email address.
Of course. Thank you. I will do that right now. I'll put my phone number too. And if I don't answer, you can always, with phone call, you can always leave me a message and I'll get right to you. As my coworkers tell me, I'm an over communicator. So let me put my phone number too. There we go. Thank you, Krista, for asking for that. – Anyone with anything to share? What a great conference today. I love it. And it's the first one, right, George?
Yeah, so we're trying to get this self-advocacy coalition going, and hopefully this will be the first of many more to come, a yearly event. And
Wonderful.
we're trying to get this coalition going. So if anybody wants to be a member of the self-advocacy coalition, they can just go to our website, swifamilies.org, and click on the link where you can register to become a member.
Awesome.
I'm sorry, I also have another question. Are you
it.
guys located in the Phoenix area?
Yes, we are in the Phoenix area, and then Camp Civitan, that's been open for 50 plus years, is up in Williams.
Okay. What technical skills, do you guys do any technical skill training?
So we are mostly, when it comes to our work areas right now, and to be honest, things slowed down a little bit because of COVID, right? So, our technical skills are in the kitchen area. So not like IT technical, but we have our commercial kitchen, and we're opening a restaurant soon in Midtown Phoenix. And so our guys are trained in the cookery, which is the commercial kitchen, a cafe setting, janitorial indoor and outdoor, thrifting gift. And then we're going to get our enclaves back up and going. So our guys have even more opportunities. We're hoping COVID slows down.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I actually, and also, do you have day program assistance as well? It's because, as part of, what I recommend, because I do a lot of job coaching, I do job development, placement, I do VR services, and so one of the things that I actually recommend for a lot of my working clients, that I'm actually doing the job coaching with, is that, I focus on personal life, work-life balance.
Yes, exactly. You need to teach me that too.
Believe me, I'm teaching myself that too. But yes, but that's actually what that's what I begin to focus my services towards whenever, they have work stresses and they have home stuff. And I always tell them, one will carry over to the other. So it's about, you really got to have a proper balance. But, I also find that with a lot of my clients as well, is that they are perfectly fine on the work front, but when they struggle is that they're very isolated whenever they are home.
Yes.
And so I am actually in the process of currently looking for day programs where I can be able to send them out so they can continue the engagement once they've actually left home, once they're actually home, because they may only go to work, part-time due to SSDI or other things that they are receiving, other benefits. And so they have a lot of downtime, and I don't like for my clients to have a lot of downtime.
Right, for sure. And that's why, and I was saying earlier, in agreeance with you for sure, is that it's really important to have that day program component. Civitan Village, just to give you a little idea, is day program and employment services. And then we have off-site work areas as well. So we're all one big family with balance. So it's really great that we can work with our day program staff to help our guys along the journey and give them that balance. We have, one member, she works 36 hours a week, okay, in the kitchen, the kitchen is her home. And so, that 4 hours when she's in DTA, sometimes she gets a bit antsy because she wants to work, but we have to explain to her, no, you need some balance, even if it's just that 4 hours, or I think she might have 8 hours a week of DTA. She needs that. It's so important. And a lot of the times our guys will be like, I start them off slow, but then when you get to the point where, okay, I want to work 20 hours a week, or I want to work more than that, we find that sometimes they figure out, no, that's too much, and start to get stressed. And so we back off those hours. It's person-centered. It's what works for them. Of course, we teach proper notice and all those things. But it's really an ongoing balance for them. And it's our job to watch and help them and support them.
Right,
thank you so much. Anyone else before we go? I know it is either what, George, lunchtime soon or next session?
So we will have one more session before lunch, before our break. And that'll be, you can go to the different breakout rooms, or if you stay in this one, I believe the next presentation in this room is going to be on supported decision making.
Oh, that's a great one.
But
Awesome. Well, I'll just hang out everyone here until the end.
I did have a question.
Oh, go for it.
Do you guys work with the folk rehab? So if the
Yes.
person wanted to get employment once they've done training, do you guys work with the counselors?
Yep, we sure do. So we work with the counselors at VR in the beginning for some of our younger guys, because of course they have to go through VR if they're 24 or younger, if they want to be in group support employment. And then we have a bucket of VR services that we can provide as well, for job placement and retention and all of those. And so we can work directly with VR on that front. And then of course, we work cross agencies. We might have a member that's doing group support employment with us and then is working with another agency that has VR services. And it's not about that everyone comes to Civitan for all services. It's that we as agencies are there for our members and work together to help them, which I know we all do for sure.
Now, do they have to be part of VR to get into Civitan, or is that something that you guys can help them get into VR?
Yep, we can refer. Their support coordinators actually will help with that for sure and work with that referral to VR. And we can help with that as well. It just depends on what part of the process they're in. Anyone else have anything to share or questions? I can just play the great ending music for our last few minutes if you'd like. And again, feel free to reach out to me if you'd like.
I believe
with
Krista,
anything. I'd love to work with any of you.
I believe Krista has something to say.
Okay.
I will call you.
Okay. Thank you, Krista. I appreciate it. Awesome. And thank you everyone for sharing. It's really important that we continue our open dialogue to help each other, to help our members. You know, it's employment first, but it doesn't mean everyone's ready at the beginning for competitive employment. But a lot of our guys are. So if we can help them with self-advocating, I have someone right now. He is ace janitorial. He is working his way up in the kitchen, but it is the communication skills. It's the holding things inside, the conflict resolution that we got to get him to conquer a little more before he can get out there. But I know he'll do it, especially with all the support he has.
That is awesome.
Cool.
Employment is such a big motivator for people with disabilities. It really does help.
Right. I mean, Andrew, like I showed, he works because his grandma and him made a compromise to that he would start off working just 4 hours a month. He delivers the newspapers with a job coach and another team member for their monthly magazine newspaper. And I mean, 4 hours a month brought him such joy. And we're so proud of him. And he works so hard. And he's one of our younger members who had to wait a really long time to go through the VR process and get the approval. And grandma had been through such a bad situation in the past with a sibling about how much she had to report on how much she would make and all that, that she was a little hesitant, but they're both in it for Andrew right now and being very successful at it. So it makes us so happy.
You work on Saturdays.
It depends. For sure, but you can always call me for sure. It just depends on what's going on. Like our Flourish, we're having a second location of our Flourish thrift and gift store opening. And so next Saturday, everyone's going to be down at the store. So when it comes to members working in job opportunities, we do have a couple opportunities for sure. Saturdays are big thrift and gift store shopping times.
And where is that thrift store located?
So our original one is on Cave Creek Road in Phoenix between Sweetwater and Cactus. And then our new Flourish Midtown is open on it's 16th Street in Thomas. And it's a really cool complex. We're building a restaurant down there and a cafe, and there is a big theater that used to be a chapel, it's so beautiful. And then we have our Art on the Edge, where our members are expressing all that creative talent. And then next door is our Flourish Midtown Thrift and Gifts. So we hope to be able to have markets down there and sell our art and sell all those great donations people give us. We're not your typical thrift store. We're definitely a boutique thrift store. Our store manager and our team of members and job coaches that work there have been done so great. It's so amazing. It's really important for us to have different work areas for our guys, because everyone has different interests. Same in day program. We rotate around different core curriculums every hour, so our guys get to do what they love, and we're all mixed together, all different abilities and ages. We're always moving at Civitan for sure.
I actually have another question. When are you guys looking at building that complex?
We are so Art on the Edge and Flourish Midtown is open. We've had a soft opening at Flourish Midtown, but we're going to have our actual grand opening on next Friday, the 1st, and then Saturday. And then the restaurant is in construction right now, so I can't have a timeline, but hopefully next year we'll be going. And just think of all the openings that will provide our guys.
I would love to work with you to get some people over there to you. I have clients with a lot of different mini skill sets that are looking.
Wonderful.